Uh, hey everyone, I'm Jun. I'm Jun from outside.com. And how many people are founders here, like, or product builders? Oh, there's a lot. Or how many people are engineers? Oh, yeah, a lot, a lot. Okay. So today I'll talk about the stories, like our struggles during while building a site. So let me introduce about the what we are building first. Yeah, we are building a site. You might be familiar with it. It is an AI browser that gets complex work done across your login websites. So I think it's better to show you a video how it works. So basically, when you use like code core or like ChatGPT work, like all they say is, sorry, I can do that, or like, please sign into the website so I can continue the work. So that's why we built the browser from the ground up. So aside uses your browsing history like memories and your websites like tools. So it can do all the works you do across your websites. And we achieved SOTA on different agent project benchmarks, surpassing Frontier Labs results like OpenAI and Anthropic on agentic browsing tasks. And also, you can use ChatGPT or cloud subscription. So that was aside. And like one fun example that how what it does is, oh, the text might be too small. So before the pitch, I asked outside to like who's coming to this event and categorize the people who are RSVP'd, and it actually categorized you guys one by one by spawning four sub-agents, and yeah, it gave me a breakdown. I'm not sure if it's correct or not. Yeah, but anyway, it was useful information for me to prepare the presentation. So outside can do complex tasks on the browser like this.
Can you show us what you got on us?
Uh-huh.
Can you show us what you got on us?
Sorry? Like,
No, I was wondering what information you got on us. I was just curious.
oh, yeah. Are there any people mentioned in here? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Technical crowd highlights, something like that. Yeah, it only searches the public surface information, so it might be incorrect. But anyway, it's useful because yeah, it did research that could like be doing for an hour. So anyway, after launching a site, we launched the product a month ago, and after that, we got overnight success. So we got 2.5 million views in a week, and we got 20K users in a week. And yeah, even on YouTube, we got like 100K views somehow. And people loved our product. I mean, all the people are saying that us like outside this AI browser, they tried and it was the best. And a lot of people like switching, or a lot of people have been switching between Arc and DI and a lot of AI browsers. But they said that they finally able to settle down to Aside, and a lot of our users actually use Aside more than Claude or ChatGPT. And the reason why is Aside enables a work that could be never done, which is working over integration boundaries. Like let's say that if I had to draft investor reports, I have to pull all the information from like Postdoc, Stripe, and a lot of channels. But if I have to do that on Codex, then what I have to do first is connecting all the integrations. But in a site, you just don't have to do that. So that's why people love the site. But you should remember the slide's title. It's 7 pivots to build something people want. So it's not an overnight success. This is our YC application track record, and as you can see, we got six rejection before getting to YC. We did YC last year, last fall batch, so it's been a year. And yeah, we had a lot of failures. So yeah, I wanted to like tell the story, like how we pivoted and lesson learned during those pivots and failures. So we started the company at 2024 January, and the first product we built was called Append. It's like an AI personal task management. It's like an AI executive assistant. But we haven't launched the product actually. Yeah, it's a shame because I was lack of confidence that people are gonna love our product or not. So we've been building product over like months internally. Then eventually we like lacked of conviction and we killed the product by ourselves. And the way we pivoted next is to B2B because we thought that at the moment B2C has no market somehow. So we simply turned the task management from like B2C into B2B. So we made a product called ACE, which is the AI project manager, the lives on Slack that it can organize your tasks in linear and Jira automatically. And like from very beginning of this company, my dream was building a global product. So after launching ACE, we had some customer in Korea, but I went to San Francisco at the summer of 2024. And at the time, I was stuck at English and I didn't graduate any school in US, but I just like booked a ticket to San Francisco and I applied and I literally went to every meetup and every events and pitched my product. Like I'm building AI project manager and guess the reaction. The reactions were like, oh, I seen you guys like I seen you similar things like in the pitch night. I saw like pitch night and I saw like 10 similar products from them. So yeah, I was like, okay, there might be maybe something I don't know. So I admitted. And after then, we tried to, have a user interview on the US, but we failed because the one thing we found is actually there was no role called project manager in Bay Area because it can mean a lot of things like TPM or like product owner, like product manager. So, but in Korea, project manager refers one specific role. So, yeah, I was into some people because I started building in Korea. So I was like, okay, maybe next time come back in San Francisco, I will define the product in here and yeah, build a product in here. So we pivoted again. So this was our third pivot, which is a AI coding agent that enables like SDK instrumentations. The reason why I came into this idea is because I was building B2B product before founding a company, and my role was solution engineer. So I thought that, yeah, installing SDK might be a challenging problem because a lot of like B2B SaaS companies and like dev companies have the same problem. That's why they hire a role called solution engineers. So we thought that maybe building AI solution engineers would be challenging. And in August 2024, there was no like agent like Cursor, agent version of Cursor, and of course there was no code. So we thought that like AI coding agent for large scale code modification could be cool. But anyway, we failed it again. October, we pivoted again. We even tried pivoting to error investigation AI. But yeah, like there's no things to say about it because I mean we struggle a lot and we failed to find a single customer. But one improvement is we were finally able to get a lot of user interviews from Bay Area, like people from like OpenAI or Google or Bridgewater. So yeah, I was happy about it. But anyway, failed to find PMF, so we pivoted again. At the moment, we were about to dissolving a company because we were too exhausted because of the pivot hell. And yeah, I don't know what to do. We drained out all the energy and yeah, we were just stuck in and we were just hoping for the next product. And it feels like every time I pivot, my conviction and my tolerance getting lower and lower. So we started again from an overlooked problem, which is note taking. Because at the moment, especially in Korea, there was no good AI note taker like Granola or Fireflies. And another problem was that I used so I used to do a lot of English meeting and my team, including me and my co-founders, like they're not perfect in English. So we could like grasp 90% of what they say, but rest of 10% are really making friction. So we were like, what if we build a tool that shows a transcription over like any system sound? And my co-founder suggested first, and I was like, no, that's too red ocean and that's too small problem, so I don't want to do that. AI note taker is already crowded space. But my co-founder didn't listen to me and built a product by himself. And yeah, he earned about like 2,000 bucks, even like by selling prototype, Figma prototype. So I was surprised because 2,000 bucks is the most revenue we made throughout the whole year in 2024. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something that I don't know, so it's worth trying it. So we built another product which is called Carrot, which is an AI note taker specialized in live translation and live transcription. And for the first time, we got a lot of users and we got revenue and we went viral in Korea because that was the product that people needed most, especially Korean users. But as I said, my goal was getting successful in global, not only in Korea. So the reality hit really hard because we couldn't get into US. This is actually the rejection letter I got from Jared Friedman while we were building Carrot. And what they say is, so during the interview, we got into YC interview first time. I was really excited. And during the interview, there were questions like, oh, how would you get into US? Like, what visa would you should take? Like, who is your existing investors? So every question seems like, okay, yeah, seems like they're ready to like accept us finally. Then the final question they asked is the geographical revenue distribution. So I said that 90% are from Korea, while 10% are from global. And that's the reason why they gave me rejection. And that was the same for other VCs in San Francisco. And we struggle a lot to find PMF in US, but the problem is AI note taker is already crowded space. So we couldn't find any like perfect user, like good design partners in States. So yeah, I accepted it and I thought that we need to pivot. We need to pivot again. So the next pivot we found is from ourselves. From this moment, I felt like founder market fit matters a lot. I mean, finding a product that I can do like I can excel is matters the most. So and during my career, what I did was like B2B SaaS building because I spent 7 years building B2B SaaS from 0 to 1 while I was working in a Korean company called Airreach. And the problem we had is sales meeting, especially while selling a technical product, we get a lot of technical questions. But for like AEs, it's really hard to answer them all. So that's why I had a role called solution engineer, which is answering to technical questions. And it's really important because it reduces the sales cycle by reducing like unnecessary follow meetings. So next thing we built is live suggestions for technical sales calls. And finally, we got into YC after 6 times of rejection. And I mean, it seemed like finally we are building a product that people want because our launch went viral. Like we got like 1 million views across Twitter and LinkedIn, and some Korean founder guy reacted us. That gave us another like Twitter like contradiction and rage baiting. So yeah, I thought that things might going well, but reality hit really hard after YC. And the problem was we've been building a wrong product. I felt like problem was legit. It is still legit. Yeah, because I still see a lot of founders trying to solve the problem, and yeah, but the problem is the solution because the solution is really hard to build. One problem we had during like building the first version of our site, which is Sales Assistant, is the context problem. Because in order to give a like good suggestion during sales meeting, we needed a lot of context, like what they sell and their share records from HubSpot and Salesforce, and their contacts from like Notion, Slack, and Gmail, and etc. But the problem is they never connected. They never connected to like some random AI agents. They will only connect after they see a wow moments of the product. But to give a wow moment, we need the context. So it's just like a chicken and egg problem. But we didn't know how to solve it because, like honestly, we suck at sales, especially for enterprise sales or mid-market sales in US. So yeah, this time we were really thinking of dissolving a company even after getting to IC because we had a lot of fight internally between co-founders, and felt like we lost the way, and felt like we are getting back to pivot hell. But one day, some idea came into my mind. What if we built an AI browser? I tried every AI browser. I already tried them all, like Dia, Atlas, and like Comet, but they all suck. And seemed like only way to solve the context problem is building a browser because browser has everything. Like 80% of our work has been done on the browser, and browser had all the tools and all the context we need. Let's say that we want to pull a code transcript from Fireflies. Fireflies doesn't have any API or like auth integration. But if we were a browser, then we were able to pull the data. So we were like, I talked to my co-founder like, I know it's a crazy idea, but why don't you just build an AI browser? Because it seems like it is the only solution, and I see the gap of the market. It was a crazy idea indeed because a lot of big companies try to build AI browser, but it requires tremendous amount of resources, like not only like the amount of engineers, but the time. But we decide to spend it because yeah, there's no other way left, and felt like building a browser seemed really fits with our team's characteristics, which is crafting a product with technical details. So that's how we started building Osai, the AI browser, and we've been building since January. And after 6 months of building, yeah, we launched it, and it went viral. We got 3 lessons we learned. First is focus on the overlooked problem you can find, and second is users don't know what they want, and third is founders need to do what gives them the most conviction. First is focusing on overlooked problem you can find. So I think from right now, AI is a red ocean indeed. So it is really difficult to find a problem from scratch. And yeah, not only is difficult, but I think it could be really stupid because there's all the solution in the market. But I found that great problems often look small at first, but turned out to be critical bottlenecks. Let me give you an example. Can you guess a problem Spotify solved in 2006? Do you know it? Like, do you have any idea?
Music? Streaming?
Music streaming, yeah. Or any other ideas? Which problem Spotify tried to solve? Mm-hmm. Sorry? Podcast? Oh yeah, okay, it could be. And the answer is downloading music with torrent is slow and riddled with potential viruses. So yeah, actually Spotify didn't invent the digital streaming. I mean Spotify, like before Spotify, there was digital music were exist before Spotify, and there was even iTunes. But what Spotify did is just pay for what they listen, and instead of paying for each music, just pay for like just do the fixed pricing, so the spending could be predictable. So as you can see, Spotify didn't solve the fancy problem. It solved like it looks tiny, but it's actually a bottleneck. Same as us. The problem Osai solved is two simple problem. AI browsers suck, and for AI agents, it is really annoying to like connect all the tools and like sign in all the accounts for AI agents like Claude and ChatGPT. So that's why we built a browser specialized in leveraging users' accounts and specialized in like signing into accounts and maybe signing up. That's why we even built AI native password manager to solve the problem. Yeah, if I told this problem to VCs like half a year ago, then they would just laugh at it and forget it. But we knew that this is the critical problem. And second is, I know it's famous quote, but users don't know what they want. So like during our journey, we did a lot of user interviews. And we even tried to sell before building, like selling prototypes, yeah, the technical prototyping. But I don't think that matters at all because users don't know what they want until you show it to them. It is famous Steve Jobs comment. So what we did is first shortening the feedback cycle because what we've been struggling while building sales assistant is feedback cycle was too long. I mean, every time we ship a feature, like it took a week to like for our design partners to try the product and give us a feedback. But it was sometimes it could be like a couple of weeks, but it is too long cycle because things change really fast. So this time we thought that ICP is ourselves and I'm my own ideal customer. I know that it is against the startup principle, but it worked really well because the iteration cycle now got really shorter and shorter. So every time we ship a feature internally, I could give a feedback to the team like within few hours or like within few minutes because I can see what breaks or like what can be done better. And for the B2B case, I think that's why first like getting a good first 5 design partners matters a lot because they decide the product direction. Like let's say that if you're willing to sell something to like enterprises in the US, then you should get 5 enterprises, or at least you should get like 5 mid-market customers. You should not get 5 enterprises from Korea because it doesn't work and it's not compatible. Yeah, there's a like earlier this year, there's a like famous quote that Ella Jill said, which is when going on stay on ideas is the most common and fatal mistakes founders make it right now. So this market, especially AI, is really early. So when you ship a cool product, then people recognize it and it went viral. Like for our case, we didn't pay a dime to influencers and paid marketing. It is all organic. People just discover our product, and some people, including influencers, reviewed the product by themselves because the product was what they needed. So if it works, then it will get viral anyway. And if it doesn't work, then what Ila said is killing it and moving into other idea could be a better option. Current market doesn't give any winning edges to people who build work on the same idea over 3 years because things change very fast. The reason why we are able to build a better AI browser than like OpenAI and Perplexity is because we found the right timing, for example. Because agents are finally able to like browse websites starting from this year. I think it was from Opus 4.5. So timing matters and things really change really fast. And finally, what I learned, the most important lesson is, especially for product builders, is you need to do what gives you the most conviction. And I believe that conviction matters more than ARR. I know it sounds crazy, but it's everything because like every step you do, like fundraising and selling products to customers and like improving products are based on your conviction. So if you lose conviction, then you lose them all. You don't have any velocity to like solve the problem and work on the next thing. So I think in this perspective, we were chasing ARs in product market fit over what we want to do, like until building a site. Like for example, the reason why we started building some like error investigation agents for like mobile developers is because we thought that there could be a market fit, but turns out that it was boring. Same as sales assistant. We never liked shipping products to salespeople because what we can do best is crafting product and UX details and maybe improving our like technical details. But AEs, they don't give a shit about the product. They only need a product what they need and what they have to use. So that's why I thought that pivoting into browser would make more sense for our team speed and DNA. So in that way, questions worth asking to yourself is this a customer you want to serve? And we should be happy doing this even if you fail. For our case, like while building Sales Assistant, I felt that we finally found our market fit. But the problem is, after seeing a lot of churns, we slowly lost our energy and conviction. So I can say that we didn't have any founder market fit to sales domain. So I think the most important question is about your motivation. Like, would you be happy doing this? or like is this the customer market you want to serve? I think that's the important question. So that was the end of presentation, and yeah, if you have any inquiries, then feel free to reach me to june@outside.com, and we are hiring founding designers and engineers. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have questions? Yeah. Wait, I'm coming.
Hi. So, thank you for your presentation. My question is a little bit unusual. It's about naming. So when I saw all your pivots, they were like catch, ace, append, carrot, catch, and ads aside. And I imagine that for some of these, like they seem such common words that there already would have existed in the past, like tan sasses with his name, which would mean that, potentially make it difficult to use his name. So I was wondering how you dealt with that and whether that was a concern.
Sorry, like, can you repeat the question?
Should I do it in Korean? 한국어로 할게요. 지금까지 많으신 거 이름 다 보면은 이미 여러 가지 사스가 있는 그런 엄청 흔한 이름들인 것 같아요. 그래서 아무래도 저도 파운드인데 사스의 이름을 고를 때 아무래도 이미 존재하는 이름을 사용하기 좀 어려운 것 같은데 다 그런 이름을 사용하시는 것 같아서 그거 어떠셨는지 그거 문제가 없는지 궁금했습니다.
Oh, you mean the naming?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're really good at Korean. Okay, so about the naming, I mean, one philosophy we had is first the name needs to start with A. Yeah, because in alphabetical order, yeah, A stands at first. And I mean, there's a lot of tactics, and I can clearly say that the naming was the biggest task we had while the pivot, because every time we decide a name, it was painful. Yeah, but yeah, I'll say there was no problem. The only thing we saw during while naming is seeing the price for .com domain. Yeah, I think that matters the most. We actually bought .com for our site, so it's now our site.com, and I think the price matters a lot. Yeah, it is one of the advices Paul Graham gives when you get angel invested by PG.
Yeah, one of my question was how much was the .com, but how much was the .com? Too much.
Yeah, off the record, it's around. can I say it? It's around like 300K.
I go.
Yeah.
All right. Wait.
What is your monetization like today, and do you still see a lot of churns with AI? And sorry, there's a lot of questions. And where do you think the market of AI is heading to now?
So you mean our latest product, right? Yes. Yeah. First of all, our monetization is token-based pricing. So you can imagine that we are pretty similar with Cursor's model. Yeah. Aside and Cursor has a lot of similarity because we started with conventional platform like IDE and browser, but eventually what we want to build is agents, and yeah, we do not own any foundation models. So we have $20 plan and $200 plan for max plan, same as Cloud. But at the same time, we allow users to plug their own ChatGPT subscription or Cloud subscription. And right now, we are not caring about monetization really, yeah, because we thought that there's millions of ways to monetize it. For example, one thing I want to say is every company that owns the start page of user, homepage of the users, have became $1 trillion company because there's a lot of ways to monetize it. And about the metrics, we don't see churns this time because our retention is really strong. I mean, our December retention is around 55%, which is really unconventional for prosumer and consumer products. And about 45% of our users choose Aside as default browser. So what it means is that Aside is 10x better like 10x better alternatives to like other competitors, other AI browsers. Yeah, does it answer your question?
One.
Hi, I'm Yun. Thank you for your talk, and I have two questions. First, I was wondering how you deal with security issues, because the reason why I thought ChatGPT or Claude doesn't allow themselves to log into people's account is because of the security issues and how to store that data and stuff. So wondering how you solve that risks. And second, oh, okay, okay, okay.
Oh, so first of all, security issues, including privacy issues, that's the issue we cares the most. And yeah, I mean, the reason why ChatGPT Atlas didn't allow like a full agentic browsing is because a risk of prompt injection attacks and a lot of like privacy concerns. But yeah, that's why we get benefit, because first we are not the big AI model providers, which is that we are kind of like neutral position, and we do everything for like privacy and like security, because like we run all the AI workloads on local. Of course, models are located in server, but we run everything on local, even for memories. And our password manager, for example, is where it can be break easily, but we do full end-to-end encryption in hardware level. So I can say that, confidently say that we are much like safer than one password. So, and about the prompt injection, like some possibility of like AI misbehaviors, we tested a lot, and frontiers models these days, like starting from Opus 4.6, they don't have any prompt injection vector. We tested a lot, we did a lot of pen tests, and we got a lot of like security bounties, but yeah, there is no attack vector right now, we can see. Of course, for cheaper models and smaller models, the risk exists, but we do have some safeguards for like smaller models.
Yeah, thank you for that. And my next question is on how fast your pivot was. I think it was 2.5 years that you did 7 pivots, and wondering how you know when to move on for better options, or if you feel that that's just a giving up. Was it a strategy to like move on quick, or wondering if you have any regrets? You think a product could be better if you focus more with more time?
Oh, that's a great question. So every time we start a new product, we had exit condition. We define the exit condition. Like for example, like during the sales assistant, while we were building sales assistant, the exit condition was getting 10 active customers like within 3 months, but we failed to find it. And yeah, we pivoted. And every time we start a new product, there was an exit condition. Like for example, AI note taker. Yeah, our exit condition was so before building product, we charge users by showing them a prototype. And what we said to users are, if you pay, then we can build product within 2 weeks. So the exit condition was first, either we fail to deliver product within 2 weeks, or second is getting some amount of paid users. At the moment, I believe it was like 50,000 ARR, $50,000 of ARR within 3 months, but we reached it. So we kept going with it, but we failed to reach milestone, which is getting users from the US. So that's why we pivoted. And like each pivot had like different speed. Like for example, while building a site, it took us 6 months to build it, and we've been in stealth while building it. But the reason why we put 6 months, I think it is not a generally good approach overall, but the reason why is we knew that the good product could solve the bottleneck. So a crazy good product, not just like skeleton or MVP, was the solution. And that was the conviction we had. So that's why we spent a lot of times to build a product in stealth mode.
Yes, my question is, why are you doing startups? What's your source of happiness from Aside? And how do you know that you're not going to pivot if things go hard for Aside?
Oh, that's a crazy good question. So there was a story because like at the end of the YC batch, we had some office hours. The final group office hours topic was the motivation. You know, why are you doing this? Or like why you started the startup? And what I was surprised is a lot of founders actually don't have any like big motivation. Like for example, my YC partner Andrew, he co-founded PagerDuty, which is one of the biggest on-call solution in the world, and they got listed on NYSE. But his initial motivation was, he didn't want to go back to school like after graduating undergrad. So that's why he started internship at Amazon and he founded a company. So, but my motivation was bigger because like I started coding at 9 and my dream was building a software that everyone uses. So the reason why I started the company is to build a software that everyone uses, not to like get rich or like to be a billionaire. After the office hour, I realized that my motivation and the path was clear, building a bigger product that could be used by everyone in the world. So that's why we had huge conviction of building a site, which is AI browser. And browser is literally the product that everyone in the world uses. And the reason why we are so confident that we would not pivot anymore is because we really enjoy building a site because we believe that our goal is to build a crazy good general AI assistant, and we are gonna compete with OpenAI and Anthropic. And I know it's crazy dream and bigger dream, but those bigger dreams motivates me and keeps me focused. And like every day I see users like reaction and like talk with users, we get a lot of conviction because users love using our product and users use our product over ChatGPT or Claude. So I think that's the motivation these days.
That's a lot of people. Well, you already asked one. You too.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. You told us when it's not blowing up, you need to kill it and move to the next product. But what if you still has conviction and motivation on that product and you think it has still potential?
You should do it. I mean, the answer is simple. As long as you have a conviction, then you should do it, no matter what people say, even what users say.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. So like my question is like in the presentation you showed like almost 2 or 3 years of building project.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is like how did you sustain it financially and with the team not to have like issues or like some kind of conflict about like the product? And during these 2 years, how did you manage like the finances and the team management? Is there like any other products or?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. First of all, we did fundraise like even before we were getting into IC. We raised about like 200K in Korea. Then we raised 500, and of course we had a lot of struggle in terms of financial stuff because before getting into IC, there's only $300 left in our company bank account. So I literally put my money to my company, which is really hard situation. And the reason why we were able to keep this going is because our team was so small. we had 3 co-founders with 1 teammates, and yeah, basically we could be in infinite runway if we don't get paid from our company, so we don't get any salary. So I think, yeah, keeping it lean is really important before finding a PMM. Otherwise, you could be able to raise millions with ideas, but yeah, the people who can do that, founders who can do that, is pretty rare.
Thank you for the presentation. This is a obviously great product, but at the same time, a lot of like bigger names such as Google or Anthropic or OpenAI may be building the same product, right?
Yeah.
Instead of building the same like similar product, most of the time what they do is they try to acquire emerging names. Have
Yeah.
they ever reached out to you? Have any bigger names reached out to you to acquire a company?
Oh, not yet, but I hope so.
Is that your exit strategy?
Yeah, low-key it is. I mean, yeah, first, we're so confident that we can beat them all, like including Google, who even made Chromium itself. The reason why is we're competing them with AI features, not as a browser. And I think we found the perfect timing, because right now, OpenAI killed the Atlas by themselves, and Dia have been getting acquired to Atlassian. Then they're not shipping any updates like during a year, and same as Google. Yeah, same as Google. Their Gemini feature is literally bullshit. So we know that it is like 50x better than Chrome's like Gemini AI feature. So we are confident that we are beating them all, and we can beat them all, like even Anthropic. And I believe that, yeah, this is my expectation, but after IPO, what they will focus next is general AI agents. And they are already focusing it, like ChatGPT Work, for example, or Claude Core. And they're dying to build a consumer product, because, yeah, but in that term, I think we have a lot of wedge, because we are a browser. It is daily app, like everyday app. Like, of course, there's a lot of like AI agents from Vector, like Hermes app, or like Codex app, like Claude app, or like IMS agents like Talk. But the problem is you don't open Claude Code CLI every day when you start the work. You don't open ChatGPT app every day. Yeah, and the app that people opens every day for the last 30 years is a browser. So we own their daily habits. So that's why we think that we can compete with them. And eventually, if they think that browser is the answer, like us, then the simple way of doing it is acquiring, the company that's doing well, and that could be us. I hope so.
Okay, thank you for the talk. So I noticed that you are very confident about the future, how people will interact with internet or the informations around the world is the browser. But it's very, very personal thing. But in my past experience, like when I think about yesterday, I never turn on the Chrome ever. I just use the ChatGPT app and use the work, search for the dinner menu, ingredient, where can I buy it. And honestly, like it takes like 5 minutes to do all the things, and I don't even notice that they are whether go through the web or not. And when I saw your presentation and think of my past experience, like it could be the time where our browsing experience are migrating from the browser based to something else. Like let's say before iPhone, we all use desktop to use the internet. We never even think of using internet on while we are walking or not, but now we are using smartphone everywhere, and now it's time for agentic things, and we don't have to search or turn on the Chrome by ourselves because they're doing it for it. and ChatGPT app or cloud app, they are making something called like panel, and very similar situations like we can experience in browser. So yeah, it's hard to explain, but anything. My question is, do you still think that people will use the browser in next 33 decades, or the way we are using internet will change and you guys are feeling it internally or not?
My question to you is, will you let your agents to watch Netflix?
But I don't turn on the browser to watch Netflix. I use my phone, turn on the app. It's like Netflix app is not a browser, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is browser is different from code like IDE. So browser is not only the productive method, but browser is also a method of consuming contents and a lot of things. And people did work on browser over like 30 years, like documentations and presentations, and all the SaaS tools you use is basically web apps and browser tabs. So I don't think that browser is gonna disappear. Of course, in a new form factor, for example, mobile or like pendants, like smartwatch, yeah, it could be different situation because of different form factor, like screen size and interaction method. But in a desktop, I don't think that people will gonna remove Chrome and use ChatGPT app as a daily their web browsing method, or like they don't browse at all. Yeah. So yeah, I have a conviction on that.
Right, I know you guys have a lot of questions, but we are running out of time. But I want to keep some time for a little bit of networking, so this is where you can reach out to Jun. Big round of applause. Thank you so much.